Hey there folks, Tempesk here, bringing another audio commentary, and today we have the 2 versus 2 now between We Made Fox and MYM. Now the score is currently 3-1 in We Made Fox's favour, so they only need to win one of these best of twos, and they will be the champions of WC3L for this season, and that's a pretty big deal. It used to be a bigger deal than it is, but I think there's still sort of $1,500 or so in it, so certainly it's definitely worth winning. And We Made Fox has not been doing well in the 2 versus 2s at all. I've missed casting any of them live, unfortunately, but really not done well. I think it's been Soccer and Moon so far. We Made Fox has actually changed them up their team now, but Soccer and Moon in the last 2 clan wars against MYM, which happened in the last 2 days, have lost 4-0 in 2 versus 2s, so really not impressing, and so maybe that's why they've decided to switch it up to Moon and Lin. Moon obviously not playing his best anymore because he is playing a lot of Warcraft 2, I hear, and so hopefully we will see a lot of good play here from Moon and Lin, because MYM do need to win both of these 2 versus 2s just to make it to a ace match, and that would be such a tense final. We'll have to see whether or not it actually gets to that point, but that would just be so tense considering the amount of sort of turmoil that these players must have been going through. Meanwhile, Moon realizing that he is right next to Lucifron, and that's really the worst spawn position for him. Obviously you don't want to be close to an orc when you're an elf because there's so much possibility for harassing. Probably not at tier 1. There's so much good creeping on Knollwood here that we'll probably could be seeing some sort of yeah, we are seeing huntresses, and so we won't be seeing any harassing quite yet, but I think we probably will see attack from Moon. He'll only go for 1H and 4 huntresses, and then we will eventually see some sort of tier 2 buildings, probably dual lures coming up, and then that's the point when Lucifron can really harass here, and being so close to Moon, that's really helpful. And I mean, all the heroes are now out. I assume we have Blade Master, Demon Hunter, Mirror. Yeah, it's Remind and Lucifron versus Moon and Lin, so it looks like we are just going to be seeing a perfect mirror at this point. This is Knollwood, and let's take a quick look. This is a healing fountain. In case you don't know, you can actually tell the difference even while Fog of War is on. If you do just look at it closely, if it looks a bit purplier, then it is a it is a fountain of mana, otherwise it is a health. And that's something that all the pros will do as soon as the game starts on Knollwood. They'll take a quick look there, see what they're dealing with, and maybe adapt their strategies. Probably not too much, but certainly it's always better to have more information than to not. And Moon doing a bit of harassing here, just trying to get a couple of sly hits in, trying to do some damage, but Lucifron does manage to creep out that one Knoll, and does get the item. Obviously you want to creep out the one that's sort of in this position here, and that's the one that gives you the item, and then this Warden is pretty easy to creep out. Meanwhile Moon, I think, thought he would be able to steal that creep with the mana burn, but unfortunately that Warden was pretty low on mana, so Moon doesn't get the kill and still on 0 experience. But Lin now coming in, and he does actually he is countered by this Demon Hunter a bit, so he might need to get out of here, which will leave MYM with a fairly good start, although certainly this isn't too significant. All the heroes still level 1, and we are seeing just a bit of micro battles here, and Remind actually taking a fair bit of damage here, and Lin coming in with a grunt, getting a bit of a block here, doing some pretty nice damage, and this could be quite bad for Remind if he takes too much damage on his Demon Hunter. It could mean that he's going to have to waste a lot of moon juice, and unfortunately no boots for either side at this point, so we won't be seeing that Demon Hunter chase down quite yet, and one Huntress now coming in for MYM, and I imagine Moon will have one coming in at any second now. So yeah, there's Moon's as a perfect mirror at this point, probably both taking it at the exact same time, both the orcs and the elves, and we'll probably be seeing dryads and then a combination of raiders and spirit walkers and grunts and a shadow hunter, and probably Naga's second for the elves. That you have a bit more leeway there, but Naga certainly is the standard here. And meanwhile, Lin's taking a lot of damage on his Blade Master. He did get a bit of a nice block there on Lucifron, which is going to allow him to get to the shop, buy some boots a bit before, and it will allow him to get away. But actually, I'm not sure why Remind's sticking around, or why Lin's sticking around here. He does eventually decide to run off. I guess because he just had more grunts here, he knew he could do more damage, and Lucifron is going to have to heal up one way or another. But he might just try and heal up on the health fountain while creeping out this camp. And certainly Remind has a lot of hundreds around, so that is what's going to happen. But Moon will scout this out with this one hidden huntress here, and it looks like We Made Fox might come in for a little harass here, although Lin actually running around, maybe going to try and hit level 2 before he goes in for any harassment. Level 2 obviously pretty nice for a Blade Master. And we are now seeing this cramp being trapped, and it looks like that 100 to get out of here, but they are now coming back in, and it looks like it's a pretty powerful Jack here coming in for We Made Fox, and really bringing in 300 to 3 grunts. That can do a lot of damage. It's against a heal fountain though, so all of MYM's units are at pretty high health, but it's still nice to catch your opponent a bit unaware, make sure that they're being hit by sort of this Drake and stuff, and you can actually get a fair bit of damage done. And meanwhile, tier 2 should now be done for all the elves. Yeah, we are seeing these dual lures going up for both sides, and we are probably going to see the same thing when Lucifron and Lyn finish their attacks. Obviously their attacks are a bit later because they're actually focusing on getting some proper sort of resources ready, and it's always sort of orcs have to attack a bit later, and that's just the way the game goes. And Lyn actually stealing this one creep and picking up a tome of intelligence, probably the worst tome he could have got there, but still it's nice to deny the intelligence to Lucifron as well. And looks like we were seeing a sort of a very close mirror match here. Actually, Moon not with the Demon Hunter, so these Hunters are in a bit of trouble, but it looks like it reminds the side that he has other things to try and take down, and since that Demon Hunter isn't showing up, it's not really worth trying to make that attack. And Lyn now running in as well, and this could be a bit of trouble here for Remind if he isn't, if he just sticks around a bit too much, because, and a Naga being picked up for Moon now as well, and obviously the Frost Arrows will be very nice for chasing down possibly one Huntress. No, it looks like Moon realized he was too far away, and that Naga doesn't move quickly at level 1, especially without boots, so it just wasn't any point in trying to chase it down. But Lyn actually creeping on an expansion here. We might see this sort of patented We Made Fox just expand everywhere technique. Obviously that'd be quite nice to do, although probably not at this point, just because Moon's just hit tier 2. He has a lot of Dryads he wants to create. He's just bought a hero. He wants to buy a Staff of Preservation. You'll probably want to prepare for a push that'll be coming fairly soon, and so this expansion here won't be able to pay for itself quite yet, but certainly if we see this game go on maybe 5 or 10 minutes longer, that'll be an excellent time to expand, and I would be very surprised actually if we didn't see We Made Fox putting up some sort of expansion. Apart from MYM would very much be expecting it based on the history of We Made Fox's play. And Remind picking up a Ring of Protection now. You can see he has bought a healing potion, and that's really important, just because you can get so much focusing here. We have this Shadow Hunter out for Lucifron, and I imagine we have one for, it must be around somewhere. Yeah, we do have one for Lyn as well, so a very exact mirror at this point. You can just see there's unfortunately no innovation, but it's just because they have these strategies down to such a T. They have such perfect timing, and there's just such tremendous focusing power from these armies. The slow from the Dryads, the slow from the Naga, the Hex from the Shadow Hunter, the Ensnare from the Raiders. You can really put out so much damage, and meanwhile this one Shadow Hunter being taken down very quickly, and it does go down, and Lucifron loses the Shadow Hunter very early on in this game. The TP doesn't manage to save that Shadow Hunter, and so that's a really big blow, because you do really need to level up your Shadow Hunter, and even though it is level 1 and it won't take too long to come back, it'll set Lucifron back a fair bit, and so I think that is sort of the biggest thing that we have seen so far in this game. And oh no, I thought we were seeing expansion, sorry, on the minimap, but it's just Moon rooted his Ancient of War right by this expansion, perhaps so that he can defend it in the future quite easily. And obviously that Ancient of War pretty nice against Raiders. You can uproot it and it'll do a whole lot of damage, so it makes base raiding a whole lot harder. And meanwhile, Lyn and Moon know that they have a bit of an advantage at this point. I think Ensnare must be on cooldown, which is why they is it taking so long to creep. Boots of Quaffloss +6, such a nice item for that Blade Master. Obviously a bit nice for the Demon Hunter as well, but so much nicer on that Blade Master. And it means that Lyn already has +14 damage. He doesn't even have his Kodo out yet, and we are now seeing a War Mill going up for Lyn, so we will be seeing that Kodo very shortly. And at that point, I'd be very surprised if we didn't see a push from We Made Fox, and probably we'll be seeing a counter push from MYM, but it looks like actually we might be seeing a bit of an earlier push here from We Made Fox. Looks like they're coming in right now. I'm not sure this is the best timing. Moon is bringing in some Wisps as well. I'm not sure what his plan is going to be, but certainly this is quite a heavy attack coming in. No Demon Hunter, but that's really the only thing that's missing at this point. Demon Hunter is now coming in actually, so really this is a pretty strong attack from We Made Fox. Obviously going for one as soon as you get your Spirit Link out is really nice, because you can really maximize the damage here, and a bit of a fight going off here, and it looks like MYM have actually set up a pretty nice defense here. They've managed to rally their units together, and Lucifron bringing in his peons as well. Obviously Wisps can be detonated for both sides as well, but Spirit Linking them just a bit before is a bit of a waste of mana. They'll absorb a bit of damage, but they'll waste too much Shadow or Spirit Walker mana to really be worth it. And we are now seeing healing waves actually going off for both sides at this point, and it's just continuing to be a really excellent mirror at this point. One Raider going down for Lyn here, and Raiders are really so important to keep alive, and actually put sort of a worker micro at the back here. This entire back line is Wisps, and then peons from various sides, and this Lynn's Blade Master will need to TP out any second now as soon as his invuln pot runs out, and he actually goes down to 19 hit points before TPing out, and Moon immediately TPs out with him. That's a sign of sort of good teamwork. Obviously they are sitting right next to each other at the moment, so that will they will be able to communicate very effectively, and they don't have the language barrier that Remind and Lucifron undoubtedly have, considering their Spanish and Korean respectively. And actually, I'm not sure if I said that in the right order, but respectively nonetheless. But let's take a look at the upgrades. 1-0 upgrades for Moon, and I imagine 1-0 or 2-0 for Remind. 1-0 for Remind, and then I imagine we'll probably see 1 armor upgrade. Actually, no armor upgrades for Lucifron yet. Maybe for Lynn? Not for Lynn either, actually. Although, actually, he's not researching it now. He is actually very close to 50 food. Perhaps he'll get it when he hits 50 food. I'm not sure if Lynn's picked up a Kodo yet, but that will be very important to pick up. And he is at 47, which is a bit unfortunate because it means that since he doesn't have a Kodo here, he will either have to put himself in upkeep, which he can't do because he doesn't have enough Burrows, or he will need to kill off a peon just to get that Kodo. And I cannot overemphasize the importance of that Kodo. There's so much extra damage. And where is it for oh, it is currently being built. Sorry, I'm an idiot. Meanwhile, some really nice creeping here from Lucifron and Remind, picking up, what item do they get? Oh, Scroll of Restoration. That's pretty much GG, I'm afraid, folks. Scroll of Restoration is such a nice item. 300 hit points and 150 mana to every unit in the area. It's such a good item. I can't believe that. It's a bit of a turnaround, really. And it looks like We May Fox is coming in for a bit of a battle here, and double TP coming in now for MYM, and not